and welcome everybody tonight to another Tech Thursday. I am your host, Akeem Sanders, and tonight it's all about make your career crisis proof. Um, Again, I have two fantastic co-hosts with me tonight. One in the form of Javier Bowe, and the other is Simmone Bowe. No, well, during the last conversation, they said that they related some sort of how, but that's off topic conversation. But yes, we have two Bows, little Bow Wow. Anyway, yeah, I get sidetracked. Without further ado, let's introduce our panelists. Good night, Javier.
You were breaking up a bit just now.
Sorry, be good now.
You were breaking up earlier.
All right,
Yeah, I
great.
can hear you properly now.
Yeah. So you may have to repeat your.
Question. Right. So we do apologize
Mm-hmm.
for the little technical glitch. This is a live show. And when things seems to go wrong, all I had to do is stand up and then they say, hey, daddy, come and behave yourself. So tonight we're talking about... Yeah, man. I don't have no kids physically, but technology have my kids. So, all I do is just stand up just now and then everybody, hey, yeah. I didn't touch that. That's
Let me brief
that.
you. Let me brief you now, brother. It's not that easy.
You can put your bubble
You
right
just
out.
stand up and things get fixed. Okay? Yeah, it don't work that way, brother.
It's a part of making my career crisis proof.
Let the man dream, Javier. Let him
Right,
dream.
right. Sometimes I only walk in the room and then things fixed. I only walk in the room. I have witnesses to attest to that.
I hear you, my brother. You can stick with that one.
I just said.
You're golden. You're golden.
Yeah.
Child, walk in the light.
Yeah.
Walk in the
Gotta do
light,
it.
child. Walk in
Yeah,
the light.
gotta do it. So for our audience tonight, it's all about making your career crisis proof. We understand that when this COVID-19 pandemic hit, a lot of employment were affected. A lot of persons lost their jobs. Businesses closed down. Businesses were forced to close down because of the pandemic. We now in a sort of relaxed emergency order. Things are sort of getting back to normal. But if a crisis were to occur again, what can you do to assist yourself? What are businesses expecting you to do when you enter back the employment line, when businesses start to open? What are some of the things that they're expecting? So that is some of that is some of the things that we're going to discuss tonight. And again, we have Simmone Bowe, our HR expert, on the call tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, they help us guide us because I'm a techie. So I mean, Javier, head of major accounts for government, all things government. Everybody have a different viewpoint, and so Simmone, I guess I'll let you open with this. We do apologize for Simmone not having video, but she's here with us. So Simmone, anything you want to add as relates to making your career crisis proof?
Yeah, I think it's something that's very important for everyone to think about. And you have to think about it before a crisis happens. So, in the same way, a business would do contingency planning, we call it, right? Or business continuity planning, risk planning, whatever you want to call it, you should
Right.
do it on a personal level as well. So, where you ask yourself some what if questions, like, what if my business shuts down or the company that I work for shuts down? What if my career choice is no longer relevant? So you start thinking with a plan B in mind, what would you do? And it may be as simple as focusing more on savings, focusing on having another skill set that you can develop,
Mm-hmm.
continuing to upgrade your skills. There are lots of things that I'm sure we can continue to talk about
Right.
tonight. But I think the critical thing to start off with is that you should always be thinking that I need to prepare myself for any eventuality that life may throw my way. People who went through Dorian never in their wildest dreams, none of us, even those of us on the fringes, we were impacted because we can empathize with that. Can you imagine going to bed one night, one way, and then having to run for your life, having to leave your home, or your home doesn't even exist anymore, your job doesn't exist anymore. You have to completely leave and start over in a whole new place, and a place where you don't even want to be. Like, that's a serious thing. Like, your whole life has changed in like 2 days, and no one expected that. No one was prepared for that.
Correct. So we just want to acknowledge some of our guests or our viewers. Simmone Hanchel said good night. Chelsea Roll said good night. I hope I pronouncing it correct. I from Elutra. We just mess people name up. I would say Gretchen Roll. I hope I pronounced that correct.
Yeah, looks
Alec,
right.
yeah, Alexandria Davis says good night, good night. Betty Davis, good night. Joanne Gibbs says hello. It didn't change. Simmone says one thing is to have your own hustle. Agreed, and we're gonna
The
actually
number one thing, the
yeah,
number
we
one
That's
thing she's
right.
saying
yeah,
is you have to have your side hustle.
right.
That's the truth. That's a plan B.
Yeah, and then she also said, how
Mm-hmm.
to trade. You know,
Yeah.
um, Joanne asks everybody what's in the cup. Well, I know what's in my cup.
Say, watch that cup.
I do have to,
Aha. What's
yeah,
in that cup?
there's some good fever grass tea, some good cold fever grass tea.
Oh, you really from the island now? He's a good
Yeah, yeah,
island
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. I gotta keep my immune system high. This COVID
Yeah,
19 and this weather change. You gotta do it.
that's very true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do have a giveaway tonight. The giveaway is a mobile Samsung cell phone sponsored by Cable Bahamas Business Solution. You guys want to continue to engage, get these nuggets, and then see who will be the lucky winner of the cell phone tonight. Um, Simmone, I want to ask another
Mm-hmm.
question before we talk to Javier. When we say
Mm-hmm.
make your career crisis, are we talking about is crisis and job, not, sorry, is the job and career and job the same thing?
No, and
Okay.
and that's actually a really good question. I mean, a job helps you to demonstrate a career, right? Yeah, what is for you?
Yes, Rochelle, that's water. Water.
Fire water.
I know I do, Rochelle.
Somebody watching you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you have a series of jobs that you
Mm-hmm.
can work a series of jobs in the span of your career, and you could
Mm-hmm.
still not have a career. Can you believe that?
Mm,
You
that's
can
deep.
work a series of jobs and still not have a career. What do I mean by that? You could just go from job to job, and it's random.
Mm-hmm.
right? You go to this particular job because maybe that's what you were interested in then at that particular age. Maybe you're just coming out of school. Then
Right.
maybe you heard about another opportunity opening up to make more money. You go and on that job, but it may have had nothing to do with the job that you were doing before. So you can do a lot of disconnected, random job hopping, and that does not constitute a career. Because a career, you should be able to see the progression. You should be able to see a path that you're taking that would indicate that you have a particular interest and passion in an area, and then you work different jobs that either expand on that knowledge or you're elevating in that particular career. So you start off, for you guys, you may start off as a tech,
Mm-hmm.
and then you may move to a senior tech,
Mm-hmm.
then you may move to a team lead,
Mm-hmm.
then you may move to a supervisor, a manager, a director, a VP like Javier.
Right, right, right.
you know,
Speak it, keep speaking it. I receive it. I receive it. Keep speaking it.
right? I mean, so when a hiring manager or an HR manager sees that, they say, okay, this person is focused. This person is going somewhere. This is something that they're interested in, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when you can see the difference between just a job and a career.
Mm.
If that does that make sense for you
Yes,
to
yes.
see the
It
difference?
does.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it sure does. And so this topic is the career path that you chose as an individual. You want to make sure that as you progress through that career, it is crisis proof. To make sure that no
Mm-hmm.
matter what is to occur, and a crisis could be anything, right?
Could be
If
anything, yeah.
Right. Like you would have mentioned, Dorian, that affected our Northern Islands last year. We have
Mm-hmm.
this COVID-19, which is another crisis.
Mm-hmm.
We may have
We
a
had the
death in the
recession
family,
of 2008.
2008, right? Um,
Mm-hmm. Yep, death in
um,
the family.
family, right? So all these things, we want persons to understand that a crisis is anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a particular career, we want to help you understand that you have to make your career crisis proof. That no matter what is going on around you, um, you should be able to still stand and still operate in a new territory because you
Yeah.
have, I guess, and that's just me, right? You have that
Mm-hmm.
foundational level, and you as you continue to build, you just do your necessary adjustments. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
Yes, it
so,
does. Makes a
so
lot of
if I
sense.
may jump in there, right?
Yep.
So this conversation is kind of piggyback off of where we left off our conversation last time, and I
Yes.
think Simone is some very good with regards to um, a career being different from a job. And so when we look at making your career crisis proof, that means that you have to do everything possible and you have to have your own business continuity plan as it relates to your career. Because that's really what it is. You have to be able to continue to operate in whatever field you're in as that you chose for your career, regardless of what you're faced with. And so how do you do that? You got to stay on top of your game. Like uh, we could go like the persons that are Cisco certified. You have to be, continually taking those exams, the CCIEs, the CCNAs, and it's a constant revolving process. So for you to, ensure that every time that a business is looking for a particular kind of tech, they say, you know what? I remember Akeem had all these certifications, despite what's going on with my company, let me call him and see if it's something that he can help me with. And that's how you make your career crisis proof because you always want to stay top of mind to whoever is looking. So if Simone is looking for somebody, you know she's gonna look at those certifications and say, hey, you know what, I really want that guy, regardless of who is around him.
Yeah. So Chelsea Rose.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Chelsea Rose said it's important to be aware of your surroundings and resources within your country to take advantage of the opportunities presented during a crisis. Also continue to gain wisdom during those times. And that is, to me, I think that's very crucial.
Very key. Very
Yeah.
key.
Um, we have some more comments coming in. I feel like a career progression can be very hard in the Bahamas, but it's possible. Simone, you want to
Yeah,
take
I
that
would
some more?
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with Alexandria. It really is quite difficult for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some reasons can be just opportunity and accessibility to movement. So we have a lot of family owned businesses, a lot of small, medium sized businesses. And so it makes it more challenging to move because there's nowhere to move to. You may be in an organization that may only have 10 people in it. And so, and then the owner is the one that's in the top position, and they may have family members in those top positions. So where are you going to move to? So
Right.
that's a part of the issue. Another part of the issue is, again, having availability in those positions. So there are only so many managers that you can have in a particular organization. And I think we have, again, fallen prey to giving promotions as rewards and not based on function and the needs of the operation of the business. We just hand them out like candy. So you name manager, like Oprah, everybody is a manager, right? And then at the end of the day, are people prepared for these roles? Can't, right? Like Simmone is saying, that nobody is moving. People aren't progressing from their levels to make space for other people to move into their next level. I remember my sister telling me one time, she said, you always train yourself out of a job, because I'm always looking for that person who I could invest into, who looks like the person who could take my job. And I always say to her, well, if I don't prepare somebody to take my job, then I'll never move. And I don't want to be stuck in this position. I want to advance. So that
Right.
means I need to prepare someone else to advance too. So that is a part of the problem. Another part of the problem is, I think, there's a lot of bias and discrimination. There's a lot of nepotism in the Bahamas. And so even though you may have a fair shot at a job, you may have the skill sets and everything, because of who somebody else knows and because they have guaranteed this person this position, you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. I mean, I don't want to paint a
Preach.
totally negative picture, but I
Preach.
mean, that's a part of
Preach.
our reality.
I, I,
And so
I,
sometimes, like,
You
my
preaching.
personal mantra is, sometimes you got to go to grow. So sometimes you have to leave organizations in order to move up or move ahead or get a different experience. You just have to leave, or leave the country.
boy, as Javier was saying, preach. I would say, where's the collection plate?
No, I mean, again, you know my history a long
Yes.
time,
Yeah.
and so it's something that I hold true to my heart, because the reality of it is, you know, um, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but
Right.
uh, she hit the nail on the head, and the reality is that, most good workers don't leave. Um, what's the saying now, Simone? Good workers don't leave good jobs.
Good jobs.
They
They
leave their
leave bad.
managers, they leave people,
Yeah.
Uh, right. So at
they
the end of
leave
the day,
people.
yes. So we talk about a career, right? And so you talk about businesses, and most persons that are in those businesses, they're not looking to make a career out of that. If you go into a fast food joint, so to speak, you're not looking to try and be the manager of that in most cases. That's something to get you by or to help you through school in most cases. So when we look at careers, we're talking about things like an IT tech or
Healthcare
um,
professional.
healthcare professional, doctor, lawyer. those kinds of stuff. And the comment that she made in terms of the Bahamas is full of jobs that are when I say redundant, I mean like we have too many lawyers, we have too many accountants, so it's a whole lot of the same thing that we're faced with, and that's the rough part for anybody trying to make it ahead in this country. For most things, it's just too much of the same thing. There's no specialization.
Yeah.
There's no yeah. So that's what it is. So everybody fighting for the same job. Can you imagine
Yeah.
with the what's
WTO.
Yeah.
the WTO that's
WTO.
coming?
WTO. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When that's completed,
Yep.
it's going to be a whole new ball game altogether
Yeah.
because
And that.
those persons
Mm-hmm.
that are coming into the country, when they allow for the full integration of it, as far as the labor aspect of it, it's going to be very
Yeah. And
interesting,
this
so to
is.
speak.
Yeah. You're right. And that is how you make your career crisis proof, because you have to now add value. You can't just be somebody's friend, family, or lover to keep this job. What are you bringing
Now
to
you
the
talk about
table? How are you helping this business to grow and to do what it is exists to do? And this pandemic has
so
revealed a lot of that.
so I see Joanne's comment, and in the sales world, they tell you you only as good as your last sale.
Hmm.
That's what it is in the industry that I'm in. You're only as good as your last sale. So you have to stay on top of your game. You have to stay consistent with what you're doing, and you have to bring value when sales ain't coming in. What else are you doing? How else are you providing value to the company? So you are indeed correct, Simone. And that's part of making your career crisis proof.
Right. And so when you prepare ahead of time, and I said that earlier, when you're preparing before there's a crisis, exactly like what Simone is saying, investing in yourself, preparing yourself. What are the skill sets that are needed for me to excel in this job? See, then this is again that separates job and career. Because if you're
Right.
just doing this job and you just doing, putting in my 8 just to get paid at the end of the week, you're not advancing or evolving your skill set.
Well, hold
You
on, hold
just
on.
have the same.
Because sometimes we work for the government and we don't put in that 8, we put in that 6 or that 4.
Well,
So
or
I want that to
zero.
be clear. Yeah, I want that to be clear. When we say that 8, which
Boy,
industry we talking about?
oh boy, oh
I know,
boy.
I know, I know not of what he speaks.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know. He was talking about another country. Eh?
No.
Yeah, but when you have that mindset, like I heard somebody say it before, like you could say that you have on your resume 20, 30 years experience, but have you been repeating this first year of experience and value 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
haven't improved yourself from that first couple of years of work. Like once you have mastered those particular tasks, you should have that curiosity, that desire to grow and advance yourself. And your boss shouldn't have to force you. Your boss should not have to force you to go sit in this class. You should be seeking things out for yourself. You should want to, like, I'm always reading and researching and studying and looking at what other people are doing because I'm passionate about what I do and I want to be, as Javier said, on top of my game. So I can't be looking at what other HR professionals here in the Bahamas only are doing. I have to look at what people, HR professionals in the world, are doing, because that's the level at which I want to compete. And
So,
that's how
so
a part of how you mm-hmm.
I see the the
Uh-oh.
comment from Eric Stewart, right? And so at the end of the day, he says we need to move the conversation from jobs to entrepreneurship. Now, that's an excellent point, but we can't all be entrepreneurs. So
No.
I do, and Simone mentioned it earlier about having your side hustle. as well as
Mm-hmm.
I think one of our guests made that comment. So yes, you can have your
Mm-hmm.
own personal business, but at the same time, we all can't be entrepreneurs. But
No.
from a career standpoint, you know, we have to do certain things to make sure that we make ourselves viable and we can have a side hustle or a side thing that we do. For instance, I got a call today. I haven't been in banking now for the better part of 10 years. But before I left banking, I was in credit risk. So this gentleman called me. He's like, Javier, this is a conversation I can't answer for my wife. I need you to answer this for me. But again, he asked the question, I answered him, and he was like, okay, now I can go back to my wife and tell her. But bottom line is that's something that I haven't done for years. If I need to get back into it, it's just like riding a bike. But that's something that you do on the side, you know. But
Exactly.
we can't all be entrepreneurs.
No, and a lot of people don't want to be. I mean, it takes a particular mindset, and you have to have a real constitution to be an entrepreneur. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of risk,
A lot of
And so some
crying.
people, a lot of crying, a lot of pain and heartache and failure, you
Yep.
know, crashing and starting over and all of that. And so some people don't want that. Some
Yep.
people, and then you need people to work for you. Even as an entrepreneur, you still need
Yep.
somebody to be your employee, you know? And
Yep.
so I think that's a personal decision, but we can't rule it out. That definitely is a part of, and I think a lot of people have had to resort to it just simply because of what the economy is like right now.
Right.
Michael said it right again.
Yep.
That's right.
That's the biggest
The,
issue here in the Bahamas. A lot of Bahamians have jobs
mm-hmm.
and not careers, and they get in a relaxed state and stay there. So
Yep.
which is true.
They just want to collect that paycheck. They don't want to contribute. They getting in everybody's way. You can't ask them to do anything because they don't want to. They are very comfortable right there. And I remember reading. I think it's I don't know if it's Warren Buffett or no, Jack Welch. I think is the CEO of General Electric. Right. I think it was his practice to every year let go of the bottom 10% performers of his organization. And that was a part of his growth strategy for his company. He only wanted the
Really?
above average top talent. Yeah. Every year, 10% got to go.
Wow.
Wow. Now
That's
considering
the
you in
kind of cold,
HR, right?
eh?
Yeah, considering you in HR, right? You know that those personal assessments that you normally do with your people. And there's
Mm-hmm.
the 10 rule, I think it is. 10% of your employees are gonna be exceptional employees. 10 are
Mm-hmm.
gonna be above average, 70 are gonna fall in that status quo, and then the other 10% is likely going to be underachievers, right? And so
Yeah.
if that's the case, you losing 10% of your business on a regular basis. I mean, your employees regularly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a kind of a drastic strategy, but I understand why he does it because they end up dragging, like we talk about dragging the boat, they pulling it back, pulling it down, and you can't move forward at the speed you need to move forward at because you still they're babying these people who aren't performing.
Right.
So, so Michael's comment now is going right back to what I was saying with how we have so many persons in our country doing the same thing, right? So again, he says here with the entrepreneurship, a lot of people only doing it because they see other people start a business and it's going good, but they try it and it failed. And at the same time, the market gets flooded with everyone selling the same product or service. And he's indeed correct. I mean, how many breakfast places we got around here?
Learning.
What they see Keyshell start back in the day. God rest the dead, Mr. Keith Carey started that business, and everybody now
Yes,
started to
yes.
sell
The
breakfast on the side.
99-cent
Self
breakfast.
breakfast.
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
that
That's right.
everybody just started to do it. But again, Not because somebody is successful at it, then you're going to be able to do the same thing and have that same level of success. You don't know what was really put into it to get it to where it is.
Yeah. So we're
That's
coming up
right.
to the time. We're coming up to the time of the show where we acknowledge our sponsors for allowing us to have this show tonight. So we're just going to do this portion really quick and come back to this lovely full discussion. So if you guys still have comments in the comment section or questions, please do continue to write them so we could be able to answer and continue this conversation going. Well, Javier, it's not like you're doing our sponsors tonight.
Yeah.
But the spot,
He
I
is the
got,
sponsor.
yeah, I got you. The nature is sponsored by Sanders Consultants. Sanders Consultants implement IT solutions that fit. If you're a company and you're looking for some IT needs, be sure to give Sanders Consultants a call, and we'll be sure to assist you with whatever your company needs. There's no one solution that fits. No, there's no one IT solutions that fits your particular company. So give us a call at your earliest convenience. Tonight's show is also sponsored by Live. If you guys missed that Black Friday sale, you guys missed it. But anyway, I can tell you what they're doing for Christmas. But stay tuned because Christmas is around the corner. So if you miss the Black Friday, you still have an opportunity to get some good deals with Alive. Thank you so much, Alive, for sponsoring Tech Thursday. Tonight's show is also sponsored by Bahamas IP TV and Communication Solution. If you guys feel like binge watching some TV, be sure to give them a call. They have a very affordable prices. I believe I saw an email say that they have a special going on for the Christmas, something like that. But yeah, check them out and enjoy the holiday seasons with some good old Christmas movies. The night show is also sponsored by KO Bahamas Business Solution. Listen, we're an IT firm. KO Bahamas is a large, mega IT vendor that covers the entire Bahamas. They sponsor the show. Thank you so much. It's all in one solution. It's all in one stop shop. No, we're in the stop shop, but it's all in one IT stop shop here with KO Bahamas Business Solutions and Sanders Consultants. If you're a business, KO Bahamas has been offering some innovative solutions for your business during this whole crisis of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much, KO Bahamas, for sponsoring the show, and be on the lookout because we are about to announce the winner for the Samsung phone. All right. So while we are doing that, we got some more comments. Anything else you guys want to share before I bring up some more comments?
No, I actually like to put a plug in there as well for an
Sure.
event that we're having next week,
Who's we?
Thursday.
Who's we?
We're Cable Bahamas Business Solutions,
There we go.
partnering with Seagrape, um, and I think I sent you the flyer, Akeem. So if you want to throw it up there, that would be good. We're having a digital citizen um, session next week, Thursday, which is the December 10th. It's a virtual session. We're going to have an excellent group of panelists on there. We're going to have Bowe on there. It's going to be talking about the economic impact of the digital currency. We're going to have Jamal Davis on there, who is the IT manager at Bahamas First Group of Companies. We're going to have Luther Smith on that call, who's a CCNA IT professional. We're going to have a cybersecurity expert from Fortinet on that call as well. So I'm also going to be a part of that call as well, speaking specifically about Cable Bahamas Business Solutions and how we tie into this whole digital citizen based on the products that we offer, products and services that we offer. So trust me, you don't want to miss it. Before the show is out over the night, we're going to post the link so that there we go. So we also, sorry, Tommy Arch, I didn't mean to forget you. So please forgive me, right? So it's definitely going to be an excellent show. Um, December 10th, 11 a.m. The link is right there. You can go to www.cgrapeinc.com. You can also register there as well as visit their LinkedIn page or their Twitter page as well. So it promises to be an excellent, excellent event next week. Thank you, Akeem.
You sponsor the show. You're most welcome. All right, so we have some comments.
Akeem.
That's it. Hey, one of the privileges of being a sponsor, right?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, one of the privileges. So I'm gonna say you have to do something that will always keep your customers coming back and bringing in new customers, right?
Yeah.
Which is true.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And customer service is one of those things that I look for as a consumer coming inside of a retail store. If you
We
have
need to
bad
do a
customer,
whole show on customer service, Akeem.
oh, y'all sure
Tell
that
me about it.
let's do that for the new year. Let's do that for the new year.
Yeah, we have to.
Let's start 2021 off right. Yeah. Um,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ty Gibbs, Ty Clinton say awesome group. Um, Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks.
And you know, BAM is like different and new things. Correct.
That is true.
That's Simmone with a Y.
Some more with a Y. I tell you, she fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
fancy.
Simone have
So
another
while you're
one.
going through some of those comments, right? I think part of this that we need to talk about, and I think one of the comments was, be an entrepreneur. I'm from Grand Bahama, and I remember a few years back, there were some containers that were by the what we call the fishing hole road, and the container was strictly there for somebody who was collecting conch shells, old conch shells that were discarded and thrown away now. Now, this group of persons were putting these conch shells in a container and shipping them out of the country for profit. Now, what I looked at is right. That's a revenue stream that just sitting out there, right? Most of Arawaki is built off of old conch shells,
That's
right?
right.
Especially the western side. And so when you look at it, it's like this is an emerging industry that you could get into, but nobody has done the work to see exactly what they're using these conch shells for. What is actually
Mm-hmm.
the conch? If it's the conch shell is grounded up, what could it be good for? Nobody's
Yep.
really taking that into account. But the minute somebody started moving it, everybody up in arms. What they doing with that? Why the government let them do this, that, and the next? And it creates a
Mm-hmm.
problem. But we need to do more of our own background and see exactly. And the big thing that's come up now is natural resources. You know,
Right.
uh, let's be
I mean,
real. I mean, we've done ourselves an injustice in most cases, but it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that. We don't need to talk about that on the show.
No.
right?
But
But I mean,
but
even as simple as creating craft out of the conch shells, because I know some people who make bowls out of them,
mhm.
and some high end clubs and
Ashtrays, I've
restaurants and
seen.
so forth. hmm they serve conch salad and other dishes right out of those, and they're polished, they're nice.
Yep,
Yep,
yep.
jewelry. I mean, there's so many
Jewelry.
things that you multi-purpose material.
Right. And I actually wanted to jump in right there because one of the things that I wrote down was manufacturing, right? In terms of helping your career crisis proof, we're talking about the natural resources. We're talking about old conch shells just laying around. And if you're able now to go ahead now and create a manufacturing business to see exactly what all products that you could develop out of these resources, you just made yourself a career-proof industry.
Yeah,
Just
because
just through
basically what you're doing, the natural resources don't end. So you
correct.
always have the tools you need to produce your product. right?
Right.
And so, regardless of what's happening in the economy, you still could go to that and pick up that tool and produce your product.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so
I remember having opportunity to go to Grenada for a conference
the
or
Spice
something.
Islands.
The Spice Island. Let me tell you something. I felt so immersed in their culture, and they, I think, of the top, one of the top three of the world producers of nutmeg,
Yep.
and they make everything you could think about out of the nutmeg, and they use absolutely every part of the nutmeg. So not only do they make that as a spice that you would cook with, they made nutmeg pancake syrup, nutmeg ice cream, nutmeg medical spray, like how you would have Bengay or whatever to spray on your joints and all that sort of thing. They made it out of that. They would use the outer shell, that hard shell of the nutmeg. They use that as mulch, like how we would use that reddish, like tree bark to
Mm-hmm.
put around in your landscaping. They use
Right.
the shells for that and all. I mean, like there was so much that they used just off that one product, and it's just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
wow. I mean, it's all about thinking outside the box. You know, looking at the resources that's before you, thinking outside the box and seeing exactly, throwing it up and seeing exactly what sticks, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
We have to
Yeah.
see our own value though. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I've realized, especially with working for luxury brands and so forth. When developers come over here, they see the value that we drive by, we don't look at it, we throw garbage on it, we throw our car seat, our baby pampers and thing on these things. And when other people from other countries come, they see multi-million dollar opportunities. And the
Right.
same piece of land that we throw garbage on, they cut up and sell for millions of dollars to people who are prepared to buy it.
Yep.
So we have to, I will never forget the late Jackson Burnside. He always used to quote his grandmother. And he used to say, she used to tell him, you got to see what you're looking at. And that is the
Mm.
truth. We need to open up our eyes and see the value, the treasure that we are in the Bahamas.
I fully
So
agree
true.
there.
Yeah. So true. Michael said we need the show to be longer. Michael, I
Aki was
totally
like,
agree
I
with
can't
you.
take the stress.
Listen, listen. As long as I got makeup, I got the camera. I'm good to go. but 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 being a texture, and having these experts on with me tonight, I just wanted to highlight some of the things that I wrote down as we were going through discuss this topic, making your career crisis proof. This is a tech show. Digital marketing. If you guys looking to start something, digital marketing is an industry that's been around, but it's now more prevalent because the traditional brick and mortar shops now needs to have a digital presence. And so if you're able now to integrate um, a traditional brick and mortar online, you just made yourself a career proof because the internet is not going nowhere. Social media is not going nowhere. It's only growing. It's only getting larger. And so if you're able now to tap into that, that's a career path that you could also embed. And guess what? You're not just stuck to just one business. All businesses allows you that particular opportunity. Another one that I was thinking of is video making. Short commercials, little corny commercials. Sometimes you don't have the high tech camera and microphone. Pull out your smartphone. You see a live K Obama's box us up. I believe in their products. I believe in their services. I use their products. I use their services. Pull out your S20 phone. Pull out your Note 9. Pull out your Note 8. Shoot one little short video. Doing two little edits, and you never know, it might go viral. Viral, that's a new thing, viral.
Very low, my. That's what y'all is
Create,
doing
creating
in the
word,
new trade.
creating words.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael say online stores, app, social media. Agreed. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
graphic
Yeah.
design. I don't have a graphic bone in my body, right? But graphic design is something that's needed for all businesses. They need to be able to,
Absolutely.
yeah, they need to be able to promote their products, their services, but they just can't open up publish a document, put some words, and then put one picture, and then send it out. Today's market now wants to. It needs to be able to catch their eyes, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And to have that polish.
right. That polished look. So that's another
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, and for everybody need graphic designers, right?
Trust me. Trust me. I put a hurting on Canva.com. I might as well tell you.
See, and that's a free platform. And if you need more advanced stuff, they allow you now to go ahead and create sign up for a subscription base to get some more free advanced services. Um, the internet is going to be the most largest economy 5 years from today's date because
It already is. Why are you saying
but
5 years?
because the third world countries are still trying to catch up. The third world countries, like the Bahamas, are still trying to figure out how do we get our business online. How do we operate in this digital environment? So that's why I say 5 years because we're not truly, as yet, taking full advantage of the internet. That's why I say 5 years because now COVID 19. Go
We're
ahead.
small. We're small. We're a small part of this global economy that you're talking about now. So think
Agreed.
about it now. So
Well, I fully understand that, right? But I'm talking about from the Caribbean. Let's narrow it down some more to the Bahamas. We're now getting immersed, or we've now been immersed inside this digital era. And so now, in the next 5 years, we'll now see what other countries have been doing 10 years ago. That's all I
That's
was
so
getting at.
true.
Right. That's
It's
all I was
true.
getting at. But it's there. It's just now we are now being forced to get along with it. Um, like I think Simmone would have indicated soft skills. Ensuring that you continue to educate yourself, continue to watch free YouTube videos, lynda.com. Um, uh, what's another platform? Coursera. Continue just reading, continue just watching videos. If you're looking now to start animating stuff, just watch a whole lot of stuff or tutorials on how to do this, how to do that, to hone your skills. And when you have an opportunity, practice, practice, practice. Like Javier would have mentioned earlier, certifications. If you want to be in bed inside Cisco, make sure you level up. Start with your intermediate, start with your beginner, intermediate, advanced. Continue to excel inside the certification world. If you're a degree person, you get your associates, get your masters, get your bachelors, get your doctorates, get your double doctorates, what have you. Just level up, level up, level up. Just keep progressing. So those were just some of the tips that I thought of from a technology standpoint that I think would drive this whole conversation and bring everything back together tonight.
I
Um,
think you're right, and you raise a really good point because I think it's important when you talk about making your career crisis proof that
mhm.
you also have to pay attention to the careers. You have to pay attention to what is trending.
Right,
Like who would have thought that in 2020 that there would be some careers that would become obsolete, or in any
yep,
given period, any
right,
of the decades that would have gone, that there are some jobs that just don't exist.
right.
and
so
and and
Simone,
even as we
this
move
is
to
so key.
cashless and all. Hmm.
No, it's key because I want to make the comment. You talked about jobs that we never thought we would have seen be affected, right? Bahamas has
Yeah.
always been known as tourism mecca, and now
Right.
we look at all of our anchor projects affecting thousands and thousands of workers. right? You got
That's right.
8,000 over at Atlantis and another 5 or 6,000 over at Bahama. Sandals,
Mm-hmm.
both here and in Exuma. Hilton. So basically every industry that's associated with hospitality has been affected.
Yes.
That's
Everybody when
right.
they come out of school, if they didn't go to college, the first thing they say, "Oh, I'm gonna try go get a good job at Atlantis, or I'm gonna go try get a good job here or there." Now look, those persons
That's
in that
right.
industry can no longer take care of themselves, right? And they've been struggling for the past several months, and we as a country, because we've relied so much on that sector itself, we have also been struggling. I see the IMF is
Mm-hmm.
saying that real GDP is going to decrease by some 16%, which is crazy. So when you look at that, that's 16%. And now about 55% of our GDP was already um, going towards our debt.
Yep.
So
Mm.
those are different things that, I mean, this crisis has really thrown everything into. So we really got to look at innovative ways to try and boost our economy and diversify ourselves as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And diversification, I just want to put in a plug for tourism and hospitality because they are trillion-dollar businesses. It's really viable, but when we diversify, it's not to do away with, but
Right.
it's looking at how we can add to the economy and add to so that we're not as dependent on just that one, those two industries. But they're very
Industries, yes.
powerful industries, and we can't discount that because we have countries all over the world that rely on tourism dollars, but that's not all that they do. So they have the manufacturing, they are participants in the digital economy,
Hmm.
so how do we step our game up so that we're participating at the same types of levels in other industries? I think that is where the diversification needs to happen. Not that we just do away with tourism and hospitality, because you could make some good money in that. I know when things were pre-COVID, like the Airbnb market, people were really riding high off that. I mean, like people quit jobs and people
Still,
were
it's still
like,
it's still big. It's still big.
yeah.
Still big.
And I
So
think
even during the
people would want
lockdown, your people that
those.
were utilizing those.
Right. So you just now have to reimagine how you do
Laughing for.
tourism and hospitality.
So you
You
work.
laughing.
So
Hey,
like you work
hey,
for the snitch line. You sound
lockdown
like you.
baby,
eh,
lockdown baby.
you work. You work for the snitch line,
My
old
boy
boy.
Rodney can see me
The
now.
snitch, the snitch line.
Yeah.
I believe it's you who call them for truth.
Me?
Yeah, boy. I watch you.
So we just
uh,
getting used to using our email addresses. That is so
No,
true.
yeah.
and she's
Some
correct.
people
She's
still
correct.
don't have
She's correct.
email. That is so true.
Yeah.
Simone on point. You name
Yeah.
right, girl.
Yeah. We have a link somewhere. Catherine's trying to say for home-based
All
business
right.
slash careers that needs fiber to their home-based office. How can Care Bahamas assist with that?
So you raised a good point there, Catherine. Thanks for your question. So the reality of it is, when we look at home-based businesses, there are only certain areas in New Providence that we have fiber to the home, is what we call. So when you're talking about fiber and wanting fiber at your home, it's only certain areas that you offer fiber to the home. But I'll be more than happy to have that conversation with any business owner. They can reach out to us at business solutions with an S at cablebahamas.com. And we'd be more than happy to have a site assessment done to see how we can assist you with delivering fiber to your home um, on an individual case by case basis. But as Akeem said earlier, right, there's no one solution that fits every business, and so it's everything is on a case. That particular service is a case by case, and so we definitely be able to assist you once we understand where exactly you're located.
Yep. I say it's all about diversifying the economy. I'm looking at the time now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time now, and it's
Mm-hmm.
9:02, and I just want for
Yeah,
our
let's
viewers.
give
Woo!
it away, give it away,
Spin to
give it
win.
away, give it
Spin to
away.
win. Woo, woo, woo.
You get this clear with the gaming out and the gaming board? Ain't there nothing illegal here, you can.
Say it again.
I say if you get that approved from the gaming board, I don't want to do nothing illegal. We on.
I
That wheel spin thing approved.
reload page.
Say no
There we
money
go.
exchange for that.
Yeah.
It's spinning a little slow though.
All right, now this thing will freak out. Let's see something here. Reload page. Give me 1 minute. Let's see if we can get this up and running.
Technology again.
Yeah. Live and direct.
I see some names I know on this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. Brittany Paclaris,
Uh huh.
Chelsea Roll,
Uh huh.
uh, Shakira
I
Roll.
see,
Uh huh.
I see Dion
Yeah,
Pitter, Iniska Jones, Ty is represented.
I've been asking all kind of questions. Well, not questions, but making all kind of comments, I should say. Trevor Moss. That's Trevor who worked with you.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's our
And
Trevor.
we're getting ready to spin. Who is the lucky winner tonight of the
Ron Demerit.
Samsung phone sponsored by Cable Bahamas Business Solution?
I will
Who is
say,
the winner? Who is the winner?
Simmone.
Who is the winner?
Trevor was a good friend. Always been a good friend.
Yeah, man, Trevor's good people.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Trevor Moss.
Sophia.
Sophia. Congratulations, Sophia. Huh? All right, Sophia, congratulations for winning the Samsung phone. Be sure to give us a call or inbox us so we know so we can tell you exactly how to collect your prize. Um, Javier, Simmone, our audience, it has been a pleasure. Um, oh, we have some person scared on bad inside the chat.
Uh-oh, they mad they
uh,
didn't win this phone, eh?
uh, my hands was off the wheel. My hands was off the wheel.
Ah.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'll check with him to make sure that was gaming board approved.
See, hold on now, hold on now.
Technical
Wait,
difficulties.
Technical
just like
difficulties.
Junkanoo, when your group don't
They
win, all
they
kind of
rob
fight.
us. Yeah, they
They
rob
That's
us.
rob
right.
us.
They
Yeah, they
rob
They ain't
us.
rob
coming back to Bay
us.
Street no more.
Yeah, but
Watch it now. Watch it. Watch
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I look forward to seeing all of you guys next week Thursday, same time, same place, right here on Tech Thursday. Though we love you guys. See what we can give away for next week. You didn't win tonight, but it only could be one winner. So let's see what we can do for next week on Tech Thursday. Um, Javier, Simmone, final views on this topic.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I just like to leave with everyone is to always approach life with an open mind and a mind that's growth minded. Never be so comfortable where you are that you're not prepared for change. And one piece of homework I'll give you, you could go on YouTube and find it. There's a little animation called Who Moved My Cheese? 13
Mm.
minutes. Watch that. Who Moved My Cheese? It's based on a book, very short book, but it is a really good read on how we approach change. And we are in some very volatile times, and we have to get very comfortable with change and being flexible and growth minded and open to new things. So that would be my encouragement to everyone tonight.
All right, Javier.
All right. So the one thing I would say is change is constant, right? And so the topic tonight I thought was timely, making your career crisis proof. And the only way to be able to do that is to be able to adapt with change. And the only way you can be able to adapt with change if you are constantly evolving. If you are expecting to achieve a different result by doing the same thing over and over and over, I think that's called insanity.
Yeah,
And so at the end of the
Mhm.
day, you need to consistently, evolve and adapt because no situation is always going to be the same. So my advice to everybody would be to continue getting those certifications, continue improving yourself, and it's daily improvement. You know, I consider myself a sales professional, one of the best in the country, and I will tell you, on a regular basis, I'm constantly reviewing. If I lose a sale, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out, mother sick, how I lose this sale. How did I lose this? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And so I break it down from the bottom up. So it's a constant evolving process. And that's just you are never finished learning. And that's something I learned from one of my managers. You are never that learning process never ends. And as a tech person like yourself, again, you can also attest to that. The learning
yeah,
process is never completed.
yeah.
And that's what I'd like to say to the persons.
All right. Thank you, and I'll just wrap up with my final thoughts for the night. Like Javier said, continue evolving, continue researching. If you can't afford money to go to school, knock out the internet. Just don't see exactly what's happening on Facebook, on YouTube, on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Hit YouTube, hit these free learning courses, get some free certifications, even though it might be improve your soft skills, improve how do you communicate with vendors, with employees. Um, Continue enhancing yourself. There are so many tools and so many resources on the internet that help you during this downtime. And I call it downtime because we're going to come back from this to help you become stronger, to help you become more confident, to help you become more valuable to whatever organization or whatever career path that you decide to choose. So continue just evolving, level up, level up, level up. 2021 is right around the corner. Just continue to level up. Um, Bobby says, adapt, adapt to change. Good night.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah.
Mhm.
So I thank you, our audience. I thank you, panelists, for staying up with us tonight. We've gone overtime as always. This topic, this group does not know time management, but we love it.
No.
We love it. The conversation is great. The energy is great. The synergy is great. You, our viewing audience, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Next week, Thursday, like Javier would have mentioned, Cable Bahamas Business Solution is having a webinar with Sea Grapes. The link, bring back up the flyer. The flyer is up on the screen. Digital citizens, be engaged, be involved, attend the session, and pick up some nuggets so you know exactly what you now need to do also to assist you. Tonight on Tech, next week on Tech Thursday, we will have Canoe on our show, talking about their digital platform, especially during this holiday
Yay.
season. Yeah, and especially talking about this holiday season, um, how to keep you safe, how to keep your customers safe as you transact during this Christmas holiday. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week, Thursday, same time, same place. And you never know what we can give away for next week. Until next week, everybody, good night.